Hello everyone. Welcome to Naipunya Vikasam channel. We are working under APSSTC and Schoolnet India Limited. My name is Nehalata, working as functional English and life skill trainer in Andhra Pradesh Tribal Welfare Gurukulam, Sitampeta, Srikakulam district. Today, we are going to learn an interesting topic from life skills. Before we are going into the today's session, I am going to ask you a few questions. Are you ready? Here they are. Are you a vegetarian or non vegetarian? What nutrients are lacking if you are a vegetarian? For the first question, you will have a definite answer like vegetarian or non vegetarian. Either you will answer vegetarian or non vegetarian. While second one has multiple answers like proteins, fats, amino acids, vitamins, etc. So the answer To answer these questions, we think differently, isn't it? For the first question, we'll give one word, say yes or no, like that. For the second question, we have to think differently, isn't it? So today, our topic is convergent thinking and divergent thinking. Convergent and divergent thinking are like two sides of a coin. They're completely in contrast with each other, yet extremely important in one's daily life. The major purpose is same for both. Here, if you look at the convergent thinking, the thinker always thinks for a final solution, whereas the divergent thinker always thinks for all possible ways to reach a solution. Here, there is a difference between these both, but the goal, the major purpose is same for the both. In our daily life also, we have to take some of the decisions based on these two types of thinking. Let us see what is divergent thinking. Divergent thinking is a thought process or method used to generate ideas by exploring many possible solutions. Here we can understand that it is a thought process. We give chance to think differently in order to get the solution. We may not stick to a particular path or a particular idea. We'll use multiple ideas to find out the solution. It typically occurs in a spontaneous, free flowing, non linear manner, such that many ideas are generated in an emergent cognitive fashion. The best example for the divergent thinking for the students is brainstorming, essay writing, etc. Let us move to the convergent thinking. Convergent thinking is generally means the ability to give the correct answer to standard questions that do not require significant creativity. For example, if you go to the multiple choice questions, there will be two or three or four. No need to think creatively. Among those three options or two options or four options, we have to select one. Even if you look into the second example like spell bee, spell bee. In English, generally we use this activity for our most of the times for the students to learn spellings correctly. If a spelling is given, it has to be like that. There is no space to think creatively. Even the math quiz, there will be a formula like that they have to do. So, if you look at the modes of thinking for the divergent and convergent thinking, here you can understand easily. Divergent thinking using imaginations. So, here we think by using an imagine. So, suppose if I use this idea, what happens? So, like that, many ideas has to be taken while in the divergent thinking, whereas coming to the convergent thinking, only logic. If I take an idea, then it should be like this. Always prefer the fact to get the answer. So, divergent thinking, convergent thinking, there will be difference between these two, isn't it? Okay, so our students always use these both in an appropriate condition, in a correct place. Here are some of the examples for the convergent thinking. Generally, students after completion of their school or college, they have to depend upon convergent thinking. For example, after schooling, they select a group, either science or mathematics, based on the goal. Maybe like they want to become a doctor or engineer. Always aims at the answer, isn't it? Okay. Here are some of the examples. Should I pursue a career in teaching or counseling? These are the examples for conversion. Either they can go for teaching or counseling. Another example, in what ways is Greek mythology similar to Indian mythology? Here we have to think about only the similarities. How Indian mythology? How was Indian mythology? How is Greek mythology? So here we always reach at the aim. Here are some of the examples for the divergent thinking. Here we aims at the thoughts to free flow. For example, sometimes we may ask the students by showing a thing, maybe a pencil or pen or fork or some other things. We may ask, how many ways can we use this fork? Isn't it? Even here are some of the examples. How many uncommon uses can you come up with a toothpick? How might life differ from now in 2050? Based on the development happens, uh, present situations, present days, and we have to think how the life differs in 2020. And here we can ask the students how our life would become uh, after the corona effect, taking the present situation. Okay, so if we look at the classroom situation, divergent thinking will be one that encourages imaginary play, variety of projects that promote creativity. Here we can ask questions like for the students to get a number 10. How can we get the number 10? Children may come up with different ideas like 5 plus 5, 6 plus 4, 3 plus 7, 2 plus 8, 1 plus 9, like that. In the divergent thinking. Whereas coming to the convergent thinking, we always prefer 5 plus 5, isn't it? So, in the classroom situation, we have to always promote divergent thinking to the students by showing a photo and asking them to create a caption or a story, like that. Whereas in the convergent thinking, also we have to use, like in mathematics, convergent thinking refers to approaching a definite limit in the series. So, there are 7 ways to inspire the divergent thinking in the classroom. So, the main characters of the convergent thinking are speed, accuracy, and logic, whereas the divergent thinking main characters are spontaneity, free flowing, and non linear. So here are some of the tips to inspire the divergent thinking in the classroom are, when the students are bored, really we have to incorporate a play, chase their curiosity, and celebrate a creative risk thinking. So, if we use multiple types of divergent thinking, embrace creative contrast, and use divergent thinking to get unstuck. So, children always want to be free flowing. So, when we ask something, they should come up with a good number of ideas. Okay, thank you.